Pretty and paid and popping. Pretty and paid, yeah. Pretty and paid and popping. Pretty and paid. Pretty and paid, yeah. Pretty and paid and popping. Ain't got dough, then you know you better keep it jogging. Ice so cold, no stopping. Love my style, my drip, everything they copping. Cashed up queen, stay bossing. Chicks on my page all day, ain't got no login. Every style queen, stay locking. Pretty gang pull up in the place, got the man them clocking. Gotta stay on my grind. Man on my money, and money on my mind. No time, no day, no time. Bitches on the best day, can't take my shine. Hi guys, welcome to Convo with Cream. This is your host. You know the vibes already. It's me, Cream, Icecream, the poster girl. What is it? Season 2, episode 6. Yes. I just want to shout a big shout out to Lily Wilshire, who was on the last episode. If you didn't watch it, make sure you go and watch it. Make sure you like, make sure you go subscribe. I want to shout out all my proud sponsors. I have a brand new sponsor called Safety Response. I'm going to be speaking about that in a little while. But yeah, big up yourself. Your girl's back. Let me start with my intro. As you can see, I'm looking very demure, very cutesy today. Yes, I'm loving my ensemble. So... Today's guest is an extremely talented designer who has made some exceptional eye-catching pieces through his unique choice of fabric and his incredible eye for detail and structure. He has worked with the likes of Alexandra McQueen, Victoria Beckham, Kanye West, myself, and much more. His passion as a Black designer to give back is very inspiring by creating workshops for the youth and much more. I believe he is a true walking testimony as his journey has come with its own trials and tribulations. However, it has all made him the amazing designer, husband and father he is today. Please make some noise for Emile Vidal Carr. I hope that did you justice.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Making me blush.
You like the intro? Yeah, no, big up yourself. And no, all of it is true. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, big up yourself, Emil. And I just want to speak on everybody was talking about the hoodie that I wore on the Pound Sterling episode. Big up Pound Sterling. You literally, everybody was asking me, females, males, young people, where did you get your hoodie? It was so cold. Your pieces really stand out. I am wearing Emile Vidal Carr today. We're going to talk about the dress, what I'm wearing and how structured it is and stuff like that. Even Philly was talking about the way he put it on today, innit? Don't play, you know. But yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all good. Going through a bit of a transition with the business at the moment. We're in the middle of an office move. So
that's right.
The place where we spent 14 years, we're moving to a new premises. So it's actually quite emotional because that place marks the duration of the time I've been with my wife.
Wow.
So literally I think the month before I met her, I got that place.
Really? And big up your wife, big up your wife.
Yeah.
She's your muse, isn't she?
Yes. Yeah,
yes, I love that. I love that, yeah.
I mean, the thing is, when we first met, I was designing High Street because I just finished selling with Topshop and ASOS.
Yeah.
And she said that the stuff I was designing was just basically dead. She wouldn't be seen in it.
Really?
So I knew I had to change tactics to have her on one of my pieces. So.
Yeah, no, big up your wife because you know what, they play such an important role as well. Even with when you're a partnership as a couple and just her being honest and stuff like that pushed you in it. You know what I mean? So for you to even experiment more with your designs.
I mean, it's one of those things where, because I'm West African, so I'm naturally quite hard-headed. And I guess you have to be willing to listen to your wife.
Yeah.
And that doesn't always happen.
I know.
But yeah, she's always given great advice, and I just need to be open up enough to receive it.
Yeah. Our intentions are maybe the delivery. We can work on our delivery, but normally the intentions is pure. You know what I mean? We want the best. It's
it
just
comes from a place of love.
It comes from a place of love. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we're going to get into it a bit more because your story's like, it's deep, you know. But I want to say thank you anyway, just for even working with me, seeing me and the connection that we've made. You know what I mean? I want to talk about how we connected so that the people know, because they've seen me in your pieces and stuff like that. So do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I guess I've probably been following you since the Mega Man interview.
Yeah.
And I know Mega.
Oh, big up Mega.
And I always reach out to women that I kind of either admire or I think like you've got something. I'm very selective in terms of who I work with. So I obviously DM'd you, and I forgot that I DM'd you actually, because most times, like, I'm not sure what Instagram does. It's like people either don't receive the message.
Sometimes you can get lost and stuff like that. Yeah, if you're getting a lot of DMs and things. Yeah.
And obviously when you responded, I was like, okay, perfect. And then I already had an idea of which of my pieces I would put on you, and I'm always thinking ahead. So when I came across you, I was thinking about the trajectory that your career is going on, and that's how I like to work with women.
All right.
Because it's quite difficult to get in touch with the celebs.
Yeah.
You either have to come up with money or I don't know, go through a PR agency, and I've done all of that. I did a series years ago where I interviewed, I think it was 20 professional black women, and all of those black women, they're women that I see that will be the next kind of C-suite, the next Oprahs, that kind of thing. So that's how I kind of function for my business, because it's got my name on it, so I can pretty much do what I want.
Oh, that's lit. And I'm actually, I'm really humbled, and I feel really good as well that you saw me and you saw something in me. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's nice to hear. Do you get me? And I love that that you like to work with women. Do you know what I mean? And push them and show them in such a way. Do you know? It's nice.
Do you know what it is? Like, because I've got two daughters. One is
I've met
4.
one of them.
Yeah, so one is 4 next week, and then the other one is 8. So I have this kind of internal mantra that I need to work with women that would inspire my daughters.
Oh.
Obviously, they've got their mum.
Yeah.
No one's going to.
No, come on, the queen. You know,
kind of like because not saying any names, there's designs I look at. Some of the people that they work with, there's reputational damage on them. So I'd rather really take my time in terms of who I'm working with and know that they're really standing for something strong, and I can. Obviously, you've met one of my daughters.
Yes, beautiful.
You had a positive effect on it.
Oh.
And that's kind of what I'm striving for.
Oh, I love that. Yes. So I want to talk about when I saw your work.
Okay,
so obviously you saw me. We got it connected. When I looked on your page, I was absolutely blown away. Do you understand?
Yeah,
your pieces stood out like they were so unique to me. And I was like, wow, we have to. You know, like Philly, I was saying, we got to work together. You know what I mean? It was like, yes. So, and then when I saw that your wife was your muse, I loved that even more, because I love black love. I love that when people show, you know, love as well. And then the way that you use color on black skin and things like that. It was just nice. And then the structure, your eye to detail and fit and things like that. So when I came up, remember when I come up with me and Maffy, when we was like this, he was like, yeah, just have a look around, you know, when you don't know what to pick. I was looking at the coats, I was looking at, do you know what I mean? Like, it was amazing, you know. Amazing. So I want to talk about what you're working on right now before we go a little bit back. So what are you doing like right now? I know you said that you're in a transition, obviously, from moving to from your last place.
Yes,
Yeah, so what are you doing?
Well, literally last week, I just finished a project for the new Ferrari Shivers Regal campaign.
Go on.
So we did, I think it was 16 jumpsuits.
Really?
And there's a really well-known choreographer. So he's choreographed the advert, and there's basically 16 male models that are doing a really unique dance, like they're in a F1 car. So it was going to look really good when it comes out. So that was a job I got literally the day before I flew to Abu Dhabi. with family holidays. So there was a lot of pressure, and that's how jobs come in.
Yeah.
You get a call and you're either ready for it or you're not. In terms of what I'm working on now, working on a sportswear range I'm trying to release soon.
Really?
Yeah, I had it under wraps for a while. I wasn't too sure whether releasing a sportswear range and having a luxury womenswear brand made kind of sense coming from the same designer. But having spoken to two stylists who I really, really trust, they just said, just go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Especially because you like experiment with different fabrics and stuff. I definitely can see you in leisure.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And fashionable leisure as well. Like I know you'll put your stamp on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, branch out. You know what I mean?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I like that. Wow. So and then I noticed that you put up stuff like you advertise for like apprentices to like work with you and things like that, reaching out to people. I noticed that you want to share your knowledge with others as well. That's what I like, but we're going to get into it.
Yeah, no problem.
I want to know, like, what season are you in your life at the moment? What would you say?
What season am I in?
Mm.
I think learning, because like, even this morning I was listening to a podcast by Daniel Priestley, and he's someone that he's kind of built 7 or 8 multi-million-pound businesses. But he just does weekly YouTube videos giving free information.
Really?
And I don't mind paying for information. There's someone I met the other day. I said to him, "How much do you want for business advice?" Because I don't want anything that was coming to him on some stupid thing.
Yeah.
And he said, "It's fine. Just like we'll arrange a time to meet. We'll sit down, give you half an hour," and that was great. So I'm learning just so that because I've been in fashion for 22 years, coming up to my 23rd. And there's still so much to learn. I think when I'm at points where I'm stagnant, I get really frustrated, and I think that's the point that I want to quit fashion. So the learning thing is really big for me at the moment. Learning from people that have made far more than I have, and learning the principles about how to be a good business person, how to make profit, how to treat your staff, and how to help people as well.
Yeah, because it's not just about your talent, like you can sew, you know, and you can design. It's how you are as a person, like you just said. There's a lot that goes into the teamwork to make things work.
Definitely.
How you deal with people, energy, and things like that. You understand? I'm big on what you just said as well, because it's the whole way across the board, which gives you the success. You understand what I mean? Yeah, 100%. What would you? Oh, sorry. What was you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say, I think it's for me. I've learned it late on in my life, later than I should have. And I guess you see people pass away, and you kind of people talk about them. I want people to talk about me positively.
So you're big on legacy.
Yeah.
Right. Amen.
Yeah, very big on that. Yeah.
So am I. Yeah. Because you want to know that what you did was worth something, what you left behind, what you instilled. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, the message you left, the impact.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, man, I can relate to that, Emil. Yeah, man. What would you say? Because you said that you've been in your field for 22 years. They say it takes roughly about 10 years to master your craft.
Yeah.
Like, you're being a bit humble saying you're still learning. But as you can see from who you've worked with, your resume speaks for itself. You've definitely mastered something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, take your flowers for that. Do you know what I mean? At least, 22 years, you understand. So what would you say is one of your biggest lessons? Or something that you've learned, or something that you've taken away from that 22 years?
One of the biggest lessons is literally treating every day like it's your first day in the business. There's certain points, because I'm very confident in my work. But there's certain points where I tip into arrogance, and what happens with me is that the next kind of week or so, something will happen that just knocks me back into shape. Humbles me.
Yeah, God humble you back. Yeah.
So I think now, being a father as well, I just have to. I'm still confident. I know that I'm good at my job. I know that I'm great at my job. But it's still just being overly aware of the thing that's coming around the corner to kind of knock you off balance. So.
So you would say still keeping up to date, still trying to freshen up your thing, basically move with the times before the times move
definitely.
with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Because I just turned 40, so like.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, we look good for our age, you know. So even like when you were saying about being arrogant and stuff, do you think like that's a cultural thing? Do you think it's something that's just in us? Like, you know, when we're good at something, we like to, we just have that thing about us. Even when I go into my ice cream mode, you know what I mean? I'm that girl. No one can't tell me. Not saying like you're not, you know, but I'm just saying that confidence I feel like is what we kind of need to push our stuff.
Yeah, you need to have that. Otherwise, you don't get noticed.
You need to have it.
I think in my kind of scenario, it's been a thing where I've thought I'm invincible.
Okay.
And been risky with money and that kind of thing. And,
I hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, then next week comes and then I'm scrapping around for new business.
Yeah. Especially when we're in that kind of self-employed creative space. It's extremely...
It's very difficult.
Very, do you know what I mean? So I definitely can hear you on that. Yeah.
I mean, with me, I've never worked for anyone. I never had a full-time job. So I don't know any other way to make money. There's been points where I thought, oh man, should I actually get a full-time job? But then I know that within 3 days I'll be out there because it's just not. I'd rather be poor as a self-employed person than have a full-time job because I just can't function any other way. And I think going back to my wife as well, she understands me. She met me running the business, so for Emil to take full-time role now, it's not him. So,
what was your very first thing that you did for employment? Do you know?
For employment,
yeah. Like, what was it that I'm a person. I've always been self-employed.
Right.
I know what sparked me to do it when I said I've never worked for somebody before.
Yeah.
I was working in Selfridges.
Okay.
And I always believed that once you became an adult, if you work into a workplace, everyone should treat you the same, regardless of your position.
Yeah.
You know, just like the same hello, the same goodbye. Yeah. But I noticed that managers will speak to you disrespect, you know, and I just didn't like that, you know. And I went straight into my beauty field.
Okay.
Once I got the taste, I always like used, you know, just little scenarios. There was another thing that happened to me where they wanted me to come in when it wasn't my contractual hours to do merchandising. Yeah. And I said, you know, I can't make it because, you know, I don't work that day and I can't make it. And it was like, you have to come in, otherwise you're going to get a disciplinary. And that was my last day.
Okay.
And I said, I'm not doing this. I don't like the setup. I don't like the, you know, and it was like, yeah, I'm going to work for myself. I always did.
I see.
And that was my little thing. What was yours?
Well, like the very first job I had, I was probably about 14, and that was working in Ravel's shoe shop.
Right. I remember. Yeah, sure mine took. I remember. I actually remember.
Yeah. But then, because I moved out of my parents' house when I was 18, so the first job I had as an adult was doing door-to-door sales, which was terrible at.
Yeah.
Literally walking down Lavender Hill, Battersea, all those businesses from like Clapham Junction all the way to Putney, trying to sell web space.
Yeah.
And I was very, very timid. So I think I did it for like 2 weeks, and I thought I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I'm making close with friends, going raving. And that was kind of helping as well.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. So, yeah, I used to do telesales. I think I used to sell spaces on the back of the receipts.
Right,
and things like that. And this double glazing.
I do all of that. I didn't.
Yeah, I did. I remember doing little bits and bobs, but then I just knew that I was a creative. Yeah. So once I got into that kind of thing, that was it. So I want to go back. So you said you was timid. So let's talk about the child, Emile the child. So you said you're West African. So are both your parents West African?
Yeah. And I was born in Sierra Leone.
Oh, was you?
Yeah, I was born there.
Oh, wow.
I came when I think it was the 3rd of December, 87.
Yeah. So people from Sierra Leone, they have amazing bone structure.
Oh, is that okay?
Yes, man. The women, they are absolutely stunning. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. So so you was born there. So how old was you when you came here?
Probably, I think it was 2 weeks shy of my 3rd birthday.
Really? Oh, so you don't have a lot of memory?
I can vaguely remember getting off the plane.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was pitch black. It was cold. It was December. And that's the earliest memory I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I've got an older sister, yeah.
Okay.
She's an academic one. Yeah.
Really? Oh, big up your sister.
Yeah.
Big up your sister.
Yeah.
Okay. And so your mum and your dad,
Yeah.
what were your mum and your dad like?
Well, my dad
up?
is very, very strict.
Very.
He is army strict to
Mm-hmm.
the point
Regiment.
where, yeah.
Mm.
And I think that my parents brought us up through fear.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they were immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing their children up in an environment that they have no idea.
What part of London did they move to?
I grew up in South,
Okay,
so like
yeah.
Battersea, Tooting,
Oh,
Balham,
right.
all those kind of sites.
Mm-hmm.
So as a parent now, I understand that they brought us up in fear for the worst. We weren't allowed out. My dad was so strict that he stood over me whilst I was studying for my GCSEs, hoping that I would get a better grade than I did. And I never was going to be academically gifted in that way, the way my sister is. And my mum she did sewing at home. So I picked up
Bits
that
and
from
bobs.
her.
Yeah. Amen for that though.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
Imagine that. Mm-hmm.
So
So your mummy was the less strict one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that they couldn't have been both strict. It would just
Yeah.
been crazy.
Yeah.
And that was why both my sister and I moved out.
I was going to say, they did that add to
18,
you leaving so young?
Yeah, because there was a point. It's the point where my dad can't hate me anymore because we're the same.
That always happens, innit? The sons always catch up on their dads. Trust me.
Yeah, and then I remember telling them that I wanted while that I was moving out, which was the same kind of night. I think I told them I was doing fashion, and they didn't respond how I thought they would. I think they were just a bit in shock. They didn't say a great deal, and but they were shocked how quickly I moved out. When I told them, it was literally 2 weeks.
That means you had already got it planned.
Oh, yeah.
You planned everything before that was. So
Yeah.
the last thing you did was
my sister
tell them.
helped me.
You don't. This help with the plan. Don't make me laugh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'ma help
If
you.
it wasn't for her,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had the courage to move out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah. I'm the oldest sister. I'm the first
really?
born. Yeah.
Wow.
So I know about that because we're hella protective.
Well, my wife is the eldest, and I think sometimes this is from a husband's point of view. All the problems go to the eldest.
Yes, that's right. They speak about. There's literally studies done
Yeah.
about the firstborn daughter. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And even with that, give your wife grace.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
I'm
learning to
telling
do
you,
that.
there's things that we carry. We never got a break.
Yeah. I'm witnessing all of that now.
Mm.
I'm witnessing all of that now. Yeah, so big up to you.
That actually made me a bit emotional myself.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot as the firstborn daughter,
Yeah.
as a woman. And it's only when I saw people speak on it that I actually got to even understand myself more
Yeah.
and the way I am
Yeah.
because of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, God. Yeah. I mean, a lot of credit goes out to you because you.
Sorry.
You know, you have you carry a burden and you have to be strong for the family. And I think like maybe your husband, your partner, like he might think because this is how I feel
might think I'm a
sometimes.
lot, but it's
No, but it's kind of like he wants you all to himself.
Yeah.
Not to have you sharing
With
your
everyone.
responsibilities or the yeah. So yeah, I understand.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
Do you want tissue?
Please. But yeah, big up your wife.
Big up to you as well.
Yeah, thank you. I'm always doing this, Emil, sorry. I'm a bit of a crybaby when I'm ready.
No, I understand that.
But yeah, where was we? So yeah, we were speaking about being your sister helping you move out.
Yeah.
You being 18 and you had to get out of there.
Yeah.
So was it continuous? Like he was just too much stress for you? Like what was one of the memories that you could say that tipped you like this is it for me, or was it just a continuous thing?
I think it was seeing my sister move out. And
oh, she left before you?
Yeah, because my sister's 3.5 years older than me.
Right, okay.
So she moved out and I thought that was such a brave step. And then I thought I can do that. And yeah, so I literally, because the place where she was staying, I just ended up moving into there.
Oh, so you moved right near her?
Yeah, and the thing is, she bankrolled me for the first 3 months.
Really?
I was so bad at my sales job.
Yeah.
So yeah, she has literally been there for me for so much.
Bless her.
So,
yeah. So it was your sister that basically gave you
me the courage to.
Yeah. So do you think maybe that kind of softened the blow with your parents because your sister had already gone?
No, because in our culture, like, kids don't leave home when they're 18.
Right.
And of all my parents' friends, they were the only ones whose kids has left. So in that time,
they feel a little bit ashamed. A little bit.
Yeah. But then that turned out to be the best thing that could have happened for all of us, because we had a far-better relationship once we moved out.
And gave each other the space and stuff.
Yeah.
Now that you're a father, do you understand your dad more?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you have similar parenting styles, or did you go an opposite way?
No, I can never be as strict as my dad.
Yeah, and you've got girls.
Yeah, so because I've got girls, but then I always said that if I had boys, I'd probably be stricter than I am now. I think because I've got girls, there's a certain you have to approach things understanding their emotions, and that's quite tough to do because I'm the only male figure in the household. So I'm learning a lot from my wife in terms of how to kind of, I guess, help them cope with stuff.
Right.
Like, they'll kick off at something that I think is ridiculous. I'll probably raise my voice a bit, and then she'll be like, "Just kind of calm down." It's not. It's not that deep. So yeah, it's learning.
It's learning, yeah, because you got to, we're two different species.
Yeah.
And obviously we deal with emotions, as you know, even just like me explaining something might touch me. I'm a cry or something like that. And men are just, if they have a different way of, just a different way, he's sitting there like, you know what I mean? This different. You understand? We're different. And I say it to everybody in relationships, parenting, everything.
Yeah.
From you understand that we are different and the way we are.
Yeah.
Even the way we are grown. So you could meet one woman, and like you just said, she might be a woman so and so, but she's a firstborn daughter that went through. So she might be different in that way. It's understanding each other and the differences that we have. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's nice to hear that you identify those things, especially because you're in a household full of women.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? And each child is different as well. So you will have one female that is like this, and another female.
One rebellious, one
exactly,
one quite docile,
basically, because me and my sister, we're like this, but we're two completely different people as well. You know what I mean? Yeah, I see that, and with my children, they're all different. You know what I mean? But I love them all the same. So okay, so you left home at 18. And so your mum, you want to big up your mum, big up your mum, because obviously she's played a big part into what you do now, you know. So when she was sewing at home, was it just like for you guys, or was she sewing for people, or?
It was for people. I think sometimes she'll make stuff for my sister, but a lot of it was to earn extra income or just fix stuff in the house. So I probably got into it a lot later than I should have, growing up in a household, seeing her. So, I mean, the way it came about was I used to do...
Because you were doing music before, wasn't
music,
you? Yeah,
arts and graphics. And that was, if you ask anybody that went to school with me, they would have thought Emil would be an artist. So the fashion thing came as a surprise.
What type of music?
I was doing garage hip-hop.
What, MCing?
I did that.
Yeah.
I was like...
Look at me, don't want to say, yeah, you was MCing. What was your name?
I don't even remember. But anybody that's been to, like, because I went to school in Putney, ADT at time, they would have seen me do like performances on stage.
Okay.
I was big into the music. But
so you weren't that shy? You said you was timid.
Well, on a conversational kind of level, I was timid.
I get it. But if you could go up there and perform, you come out of yourself. I see.
And then I realised, I don't know what changed, but I thought I can't make money from music or art enough to earn a living. I remember like the time I met Mega in this was in Battersea, and he won't remember this.
Big up Swiss as well. Big up Swiss.
Yeah. And I had my tape on me,
right?
And I tried to hand it to Mega, and he was like, "I called the office." And I don't know if the number he gave me was some dad number. I called it for like 3 straight months. There was no answer. So, so I think that kind of made me think I can't do the music thing, but I'm still creative. So how else can I be creative and make money? And then I thought, okay, let me just see what mum's doing with the machine. And she showed me a few things, and I was like, that's it.
Wow.
It literally just happened overnight. There was no
over
planning. And that was it. I just fell in love with it.
Really? Yeah. Wow. What was your machine?
Oh man, it was some,
my grandma had a sewing
domestic
machine.
Well, you get the really old like singers.
Yeah, the singers.
They're the proper machines.
Yeah.
They last as long as like any person on planet. I don't have that machine anymore, but it was I stayed up all night making this like denim suit, and it was probably made really badly, but I just loved kind of the process.
Yeah.
Of sewing and just creating something.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Right. Yeah. You got enough there? Yeah. You sure? Yeah. So okay then. So you started to do your designs and stuff. So you realized music wasn't for you. So you just started going into the designing and for your friends. Remember at college, or that you was making outfits?
Yeah. So so to add a bit to that story, literally at the time when I started to do fashion, I walked into this Afro hair salon,
right,
called Hype, because at that time I was living in Balham. I thought, oh, there's a lot of black people in here and they're doing hair. So I spoke to the boss and I said, I'm a designer. I just want to get some experience just doing hair, just to because I'm focusing on women's wear and I want to understand how to create the whole look for the woman. And that was literally it. And he said yes. So I worked there for like a year unpaid. I was just going in one day a week, just absorbing the environment. And then after about a year, they started getting me to help them do styling for their shows, for Afro Beauty Show, Salon International. And this time I'm doing my degree. I've got like a part-time job. So I was juggling a lot. So when I'm doing washes or relaxers, I'm getting new clients that talking to women saying I'm a designer, and then they'll like say they're going to a party, whether it's a rave or like Ghana Independence, Nigerian Independence, those kind of things, and they'd come to my house 6 o'clock, then they'd leave probably by about 10, 11 o'clock to go to that party what I'd made for them.
Yeah.
And that period of my life learnt me so much because like the room was no bigger than probably a quarter of this.
Really?
So there's literally my bedroom.
Yeah.
They're sitting there on the bed watching me. I'm trying to entertain them by talking to them, trying to focus on sewing, do the fitting and make sure that they get out of my house at a decent time.
Yeah.
So you're working under
pressure. Yeah.
And I didn't realize how vital that short period of my life would play later on down the better I got.
Come on.
So
yeah, man, you have to trust the process, innit?
Yeah.
It's like the wax on, wax off. You know what I mean, innit? You don't. It's like if you start if people that are older will know, like when you have your first car without the steering wheel, I mean power steering.
Yeah.
By the time you go in them new, you know what I'm saying? It's easy. Do you understand? So the hard bit, and you're doing all of that. When you get up there, you do things with ease. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
All of the struggling that I did and stuff, you know, under certain circumstances, I noticed when I got into, I was able to just do it, I noticed with ease because I was used to doing the rough way. Do you understand? Yeah, I like that. Okay, so then you started doing that. And then when did you start working with, like, is that close to the period where you started working with Topshop and stuff?
Yeah, so
or have I jumped a bit? Have I jumped to that?
A little bit, because
let's go back then. I don't want to miss anything.
Well, at that time I was studying a fashion degree.
Right.
So I went to one of the best fashion unions in the world, London College of Fashion.
Right.
But because by the time I started my degree, I already knew a hell of a lot. So I'm going into lessons excited, but then at the end of it, I'm thinking like, you haven't taught me anything.
Okay.
I just paid £1,000 for 1 year, which was a lot of money though.
Come on.
So then by year 2, I wanted to quit. And I remember I was in a critique with one of my lecturers, and they just basically said my work was rubbish. So like, I thought, okay.
Look at you now.
Well, because like with fashion, everything's based on opinion, right? So I remember calling my mum when I finished that that session, and I was in tears because I thought, is this what the fashion industry is about? Because if it is, I just don't want any part of it. But I couldn't tell her that I wanted to quit the degree because they didn't really want me to do it in the first place because they want they to be a doctor, lawyer, all those kind of things. So I stuck it out, but I coasted through the rest of my degree. I wasn't interested in getting a high mark. I thought, I'll start this thing, I'm going to finish it, but you're not having the 100% of me.
Right.
So I spent the rest of my time kind of setting up what I thought would be a business. So after I graduated, I was working at the shop in Balham. I can't remember the name of it, but they played a vital role in my life because then I was customer facing every day. And then the top shop, ASOS came first.
Okay.
I got an agent and they brokered the deal on my behalf.
Right.
So they were getting 10% plus the VAT of any order.
What made you get an agent? Was that just the done thing to do? Like, what made you think, let me get an agent? Do you know what I mean? Like, why did you think to myself, let me get an agent?
Well, there was a lot of trial and error. And so with Topshop, for example, I approached them 2 or 3 times just on my own.
Okay.
I managed to find the name of the buyer, email them, and then you would drop your stuff down to the head office in, Oxford Circus. And then they'll tell you to come back in 3 weeks to pick it up. And they'll tell you whether or not they want to stock your stuff. So each of those 2 or 3 times, they said no. All right. So the next thing that I did, I got an agent, which I can't remember how we found her, but we just did. And she presented the same stuff to Topshop. And they said yes.
Come on.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how did that happen? And it could have only been the relationship. And I mean, Topshop had lost a couple of my pieces when I delivered to them. So yeah, I guess a lot of that is politics. So I think the biggest contract we got with the agent was about £25,000.
Okay.
And by this time I'm 22. So I've just graduated, been thrown in the deep end.
How did that make you feel though?
Emotional.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Especially like feeling disheartened. You know, like people telling you like your stuff's rubbish, and then you get you understand what I mean? You get this big deal and with a big name at that. Do you understand what I mean? That must have felt good.
Yeah, it did. It felt really good. It felt that things were finally heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
But then, like, I couldn't, because I'm so young. I haven't got a credit report, or I haven't got any kind of credit rating.
Yeah.
I haven't got the money in the bank. My parents haven't got the money. No one's going to loan it to me. So through irony, like, I just backed up on a good friend of mine that I'd known since school. So I'd known since I was 12. And there was no kind of inclination to do business. It was just like, we've seen each other after how many years, let's catch up. And I think the way I do things is I make big decisions quickly. My wife is the complete opposite. And I think within a matter of 3 days, we decided we're going to go into business together.
Right.
He's a great guy. He's a really good guy. He's got great energy about him. But he was doing dodgy stuff on the side, which I was aware of. And there was a role he would take in the business in terms of the admin and the business side, and I would still be the designer. So then
was there sorry to cut you, was there anything, like you said, within 3 days you wanted to do, so you was completely all in, or was there something there that maybe you thought that's a red flag, but I done it anyway?
No.
You just wanted, you thought
it was very organic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the great thing about that is because I never had the time at uni where it was fun, because I had the job. I had 2 jobs. I was juggling a lot. So meeting up with him again, I could kind of not take things easy, but just enjoy life a bit.
Come on.
Go raving.
Yeah, I hear you.
Go places like Embassy and all those kind of places, and it was nice. I would work hard and I'd play hard.
Yeah.
Did that for 3 solid years, but then it caught up with me. But then the business was growing. We got invited to go to New York to do Fashion Week over there, and that was with 20 other British designers. So we were chosen by the Mayor's office. I think it was Ken Livingston at the time.
Okay.
So they gave us like a £500 stipend, but the trip cost us 10 grand. Because we took 2 members of staff with us, paid for flights, hotels, the catwalk show, and then I think maybe 4 months after we got back, things just kind of went downhill. So
Talk us through that. So what happened?
Yeah, well, obviously, what my partner was doing that on the side that kind of caught up with him, but then because we're business partners, where we're directors of the same company, it got caught up in joint enterprise.
Right.
So I think it was the 3rd of January 2009. First day of the year at the office, put the key in, and then he's there. And then within literally 10 minutes, we're just talking. There was a knock at the office door. 2 police officers. Okay. But they're here for him. Something had happened at our office that I don't know. And they took him away. And obviously searched me. And then said I could go away. But then they found some stuff in our office. Basically, drugs and cash it was. And I thought, this isn't going to go well. Because I remember there's a guy there's a black guy in the bill. Do you remember watching the bill?
Yeah.
There's a black police officer, dark skin, old. And I saw him as I was waiting for the police to call me back. I thought that's an odd day to see someone that I admire when I'm going through stress. I'm literally waiting for the police to call me. Because obviously you know certain things that happen in the background.
Yeah.
You know enough not to kind of get involved. We've all got friends like that.
Yeah.
But this is my business partner, so it's a slightly different kettle of fish. And then that day, I didn't hear from the police. But then the forthcoming days, every police car that drove in my direction, I just froze.
He was paranoid. Yeah.
And then one morning, there was a girl I was seeing at the time. I was leaving her house, and my receptionist called me and said, Emil, there's 2 guys here to see you. So I was like, okay, put them on the phone. And it's the DCI and 2 DCIs here to see me. I was like, okay, this is it. So we arranged that I'd get to the station for, I think it was 1 o'clock. Went to...
How was you feeling?
Worried.
Yeah, don't just skip past that. When they tell you who are there, when you got the call and they said there's 2 police officers, how was you feeling then? Like, obviously you know that you haven't done anything, but you must still feel, because it's in your workplace, was you still, at the time when they found that, did you understand that you could be in trouble for this as well?
Well, I don't know how much.
You didn't know it's not connected to you?
I knew at that time they'd seized our laptops. Laptops and bank statements.
Right.
So when I realised that, I thought, okay, they're coming.
Yeah, right.
And then what was it? I went to see a brief I'd found, but he wasn't even there that morning. So I called my friend Jimmy Campbell. He owns a salon, a chain of salons actually. So he got his brief to meet me at the station.
Right.
He already knew what was going to happen.
Really?
Yeah, because I spent 2 hours with Jimmy that morning. He was driving me around. In hindsight, he was entertaining me to take my mind off things.
Okay.
Because Jimmy's like an older brother to me.
Okay, big him up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
big him up.
And I got to the station, briefs there, taken into the room. They read out the 2 charges. But then I wouldn't have known that they would have, 2 counts of intent to distribute Class A. Me. And I'm a good boy. I've never ever been in trouble with the law. I'm so straight as narrow. So the fact that they put that on me, I just didn't know what to say. I was just in shock. Couldn't talk, even though I was advised not to. But sometimes when you hear something so it's just so crazy, you think you'd be like, you'd say even a what or
yeah.
So by this time that they've gone to my sister's place where I was living at the time, searched that. They've searched my office again. And like when I was doing my questioning, there was some ridiculous stuff that came up. Like at the time I'm doing made to measure, right? So I've got maybe 20 customers that they've paying down what they owe me. I'm writing that down on a piece of paper. And they're saying this is, what was it they said? This was my drug clients. Yeah.
Wow.
And I've been told to go no comment.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what
Had to
what
go
was
no
you
comment.
advised to do?
Straight no comment.
And that's what you did.
Yeah.
Okay,
everything,
cool.
everything.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then,
But when you was hearing them saying all of these
it was
things, you
mad.
must have
It was
been
like I could see myself, literally, like in the seat. While they were questioning me, and then what was it?
None.
I went to Spain, bought my friend like a Barcelona kind of gift.
Yeah.
So that was in the bag. So they're saying, oh, because I've gone to Spain and that was in the bag, that I'm going back and forth to
wow, they were going
transport.
as far as that.
Yeah. So at that point, I stopped the interview. I said, I can't not talk.
Mm-hmm.
The brief saying, don't say a word.
Mm-hmm.
So the interview kind of finishes after what felt like a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got the call from the CPS to grant me no bail.
Mm.
Next morning, we're in court, and I think I'm gonna go at least go home, because by this time I've first time I've been arrested, first time I'm going through any of this in my life. So I'm still a bit like, what's the word? I'm definitely ignorant, but a bit optimistic that it's not that serious, and
not understanding the law as much as well as how much you can be connected to it, basically. Yeah.
So I'm standing in the dock, and I was the last case that day, and I remember the judge was looking at me. He just sees another black boy.
Worse, like how you're the last one as well. I'm tired for the day. You know, like in the beginning, maybe they might give you a chance. By the end of seeing people coming in, they're just, do you know what I mean?
So like I said to you earlier on, right, I was born in Sierra Leone, so I've got dual citizenship.
Okay.
So when they'd searched my sister's house, I'd found my 2 passports.
Right.
They said, because he's got 2 passports, he's a flight risk.
Flight risk.
And because of the charge, he's going to intimidate witnesses. So they said all this in court. And I'm like, what? So bail denied. Straight off. The next thing, I'm in a van, Seiko van, going to women's scrubs.
Ross.
So
and where was he already? He's already locked up, isn't he? He's gone from before, isn't it? Did you speak to him at any point between that time and the time where you went in and spoke to him?
I think he called me once.
Like, what was the connection with that?
I think was it the day of or the day after he called me once when he was at the station, just let me know he was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think that was a wise idea, but I mean that's what happened. It was a very brief call, and then ironically we were on the same wing.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's what was mad about it. We were on the same wing.
So when so when they said no bail, how did you feel? Because obviously you're not even used to that type of life. Do you understand? Where was your mum? Was your mum and your dad there?
They
was
were
any
in
of your
Sierra Leone
relatives?
at the moment.
Oh, they was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I was thinking about was my sister. Like,
because they've gone to your sister's house and raided it and everything, innit?
Bits. Knowing that, because I think they'd had their first by then. So my
oh wow! So she's there with her family.
Yeah, my eldest nephew Gabriel, who would have been he would have probably seen that. And there's shame kind of setting in at this point.
Their emotions.
Whether it's my fault or not, you've gone through this because of me. Was
there ever a point where you felt a bit like naive to overlooking certain things what your business partner was doing? Because obviously, you know, back in the day, let's just be, you know, like back in the day, from the area, we know people that's, you know what I'm saying? They were hustling, they're doing what they're doing, innit? And obviously now with knowledge, we understand that you can be driving with someone to somewhere, you're going to be involved. Do you understand what I mean? So you didn't understand it to that degree, but did you feel to some way that you could have?
You can always walk away. Like you see enough to kind of make a decision that if I stay around, then whatever happens is my fault. I think because I was always just about the business, like
the business thriving and things like that.
Yeah, that was my only priority. So I think I put blinkers onto everything else. Yeah.
And it sounds like the business was thriving because you said you had reception, you had staff, you lot was going on trips. So
we had an office just off New Kings Road in Parsons Green. So
wow.
Yeah, we were making a lot of money.
Yeah.
We had probably at least five, maybe 6 different retailers selling our stuff. So yeah, we were doing really, really well. The only kind of trip up was too young to have any kind of financial backing.
I hear you. Yeah. So what was that drive like for you on the way to the prison?
It was odd. Like, it was noisy. It was cold. I kind of thought, like, I'm not going to interact with a woman in a while. I remember thinking that.
So you thought, that's it, I'm going away for long.
Well, I thought that I think at that point it sunk in that, okay, this is serious now.
I need to sort this out.
Because I'm not going to be able to escape from prison. Some ridiculous thoughts come in your mind.
Yeah.
And you kind of kicks you into touch. And then I remember, like, we drove past. The first time I saw Westfield in Shepherd's Bush, I was driving past in the circle.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that's a really nice building. But then I'm in the circle. And then we drive up to Wentworth Scrubs, and it's just dark and it's just horrible.
Was you fearful or?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because again, it's not an environment I know. I don't know anyone in prison like this. Again, I'm timid. Like, what's gonna happen? But really and truly, my experience of prison was this. It was kind of like a youth club.
Yeah.
And for someone that was minding my business, obviously, like my business partner was on the wing.
When you first saw him, how did you feel? Because you didn't know he was going to be there.
A bit relieved, actually.
Yeah, you must have.
Because I thought, okay, yeah, like, there's a familiar face here. So momentarily, I forgot the seriousness of what was going on. And because we're such, like, good friends, like, it was, like, we gave each other a smile, and it was, it was nice for that moment. And then you remember where you are. I think in hindsight, there was probably authorities would have loved for us to have gone in the same cell and conspired.
Right.
Because it's very easy to say, to the land officer, can I change cells with so and so? If they're only good with me, they'll just do it. But that would have made our cases worse.
Exactly.
Which I didn't know.
Yeah. Or even say, like, you to see what you lot will say to each other. I'll bog the room, do you know what I mean? And things like that. Okay. So was there any so when you saw him, you didn't feel any anger towards him or nothing? You didn't tell him you better clear this up, nothing like that? No.
I mean, there was there was never any anger. There were times that we kind of, he told me that what was going on in his case, obviously the law has to run its course. So he would eventually come forward and say, "Oh, Emil's got nothing to do with this." But that took 4 months.
But was it so? What about him having them at the workplace though? Having the at the workplace.
Well, that's the thing. To this day, I know nothing. Like,
so
about
he
that.
didn't.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
All I know is what kind of I was involved in, and it was frustrating.
Yeah, that he's got you. You know that you brought that so close to the. You know what I mean, to the business.
But I had to trust that he would keep to his word, because he's gonna comment. I'm gonna comment. So in terms of that kind of silly honor code, I haven't talked. And I say silly because I'm not from that life. I think where I was silly was obviously allowing stuff to go on around me. But then one of the saving graces is that in Wentworth Scrubs, they've got a textile workshop.
Right.
So the minute I found it out, I was like, can you get me in there?
Gone in there, yeah.
And I was doing bed sheets and pillowcases.
Really?
I learned how to make curtains in Wentworth Scrubs.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, man. Exactly. You make the best of wherever you are, you know.
You have to.
And you don't make nothing stop your mind from elevating. And do you understand what I'm saying? You can't let that mash you up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So all in all, how long was you there for?
4 months.
4 months.
Yeah.
So coming to the end of the 4 months, what happened? Why they released you and all kinds of stuff?
Well, he came forward and wrote a statement with his brief, said that it has nothing to do with this. I think they wanted to kind of hit me up for money laundering as well.
But they obviously realised you ain't got nothing to do with it and everything like that. Totally non-guilty. And big up your friend as well for taking. Do you know what I'm saying?
Because he didn't have to.
He didn't. Yeah, because some people even up to know them, I sit on for other people. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that he just stood up to the plate and took his thing, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
because like what was happening is that I was reaching the end of, there's a certain amount of days they can keep you on remand without going to trial.
Okay.
And they were fearful because they don't know me. So they're fearful that if Emil gets out, you'll either I think it was intimidate witnesses or it will ruin our case. So they're trying to rush to go to trial.
Okay, right.
So I got released, I think 2-3 days before my trial was scheduled to start. And judge just said, this guy has nothing to do with this, you're wasting my time. Yeah. But the thing is, the day I got released, there was a shooting at Wandsworth Prison.
Oh, for real?
That very day. So I should have been out from like lunchtime. And I didn't get released until 7 o'clock that evening, on Friday. Because in prison, after like 5 o'clock, there's nothing happening. You're down for the weekend. And then I remember the footsteps coming to my cell door, and it was this prison guard, who I didn't have a greatest experience with, actually. And when I saw him, I thought, okay, is he kind of going to do something here? But he said, oh, Carr. I said, yeah, it's me.
You're going.
You're out.
Yeah.
I was literally reading the Bible when that happened. So,
Amen. Yes. Yeah.
Crazy experience.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad that you came out of that. Do you know what I mean?
But I'd lost everything. I'd lost the office, lost all the contracts. So I had to start again.
So everything.
Yeah. Money was gone.
Yeah, money's gone, innit? Yeah. Wow. How did that feel though, coming out and all of that?
I think because you've dodged such a bullet, it didn't matter. You just
you didn't mind that. You just knew that you wanted your freedom.
Yeah. And literally the next day, I just texted all my customers and said, "Oh, I'm out. Schedule meetings." Yeah.
So what was the next step for you though? Like losing the clients and stuff like that. Where was your mindset? Or did you just need a rest or to reset? Or
no, because I needed money.
Did you have a plan? Yeah.
I needed money. So I mean, the lady I was seeing at the time, she done her best to look after the business. Obviously, she's not me, so she tried, but there was nothing really there to come back to. So it was literally a case of just doing made to measure for friends again and building up from that. That's all it was. I think because I had a good name, and those who knew you,
they knew. Like, that's not him.
Because they spoke to my staff, they spoke to countless people, and they realized, like,
come on, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So then you started to build up your stuff all over again.
Yeah.
Is that coming up to near where you met your wife?
Yeah. So that I met my wife 2 years after I got released. And I remember when we first, I think we went on a date, and I said to her, like, there was a pastor that used to come and see me in prison. I said to her, you asked me how I know Erbil. I said, because you used to come and see me once I was on remand for told the story. And her dad used to pastor my pastor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't know that. Yeah. So from day dot, I was brutally honest with her.
Yeah.
So that she knows she's got the full picture.
Yeah.
So if you wanna go the opposite direction, you can do, but at least you know what you're dealing with. So
where did you meet?
we met in a club, and I don't really go out. It was a mutual friend's birthday party. I think she complimented my shoes, and
that's why you feel wear good shoes, because women notice your footwear. Yes, make sure your footwear is good.
So I didn't kind of say much after that, because I didn't want to think I'm just jumping on the first thing she said to me. So one of my friends, I said, "Oh, who's that girl that was complimenting my shoes?" And then she said, "Yeah, she'd be a good match for you." So I just messaged her like Facebook. A day or two later, and then we just
we went from there.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, man.
So,
come on.
Yeah.
So when you saw her, you knew what you wanted to make for her.
I think I thought that she would just wear anything. You know what it is? I thought I was God's gift to fashion, so I thought, oh yeah, she'll like anything I'm doing. But she humbled me real quick.
Don't give me joke.
Yeah.
Tell you what she like and what she don't like. What's one of her favorite things? What she likes of you? What you make though? Does she like your coats, your dresses?
Yeah, she really likes the coats.
Yeah, because I saw her walking in one of the coats. She looks nice in the coat.
She's got a very classic style. I would say it's a little bit boring. I would like her to be a bit more adventurous.
Really? I think it's timeless though when you keep it a bit. As I've gotten older, I realise when you're very trendy, you'll always look back on your pictures and cringe.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The more classic you leave the lines, the more timeless I notice that you can kind of go into. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when I look at some of my fashions, I'm like, oh gosh. But at that time it was guanin, you know what I mean, innit? Because I like to, what's that word when they say, what's the word I'm looking for? Like when you wear load, you know, you do hair, you speak through your look. Do you know what I mean? I like to.
Effervescent.
Yeah.
The thing is, when we met, I was actually sleeping at my office. I don't know if
really.
You said, so I kind of thought, what is this woman doing with me? Because I've got nothing to give you. Because I was still on the rise from 2 years ago, so still like building things up.
But one thing women are very good at, we are born with, we have discernment. We have that intuition.
Yeah.
We can spot potential. We know when we can feel that good energy and that, what's it called? So I just feel like maybe she saw something.
Yeah.
Because they say, you know, women are the neck.
Yeah.
And we help navigate. We see things in hindsight and stuff like that. And I just feel like sometimes when we align with people, you might not be where you're meant to be now, but you've got all of the tools to become that. And together we can build that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I like about you lot, what you lot portray in your beautiful daughters. So big up your wife once again, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah. And then, you know, you went on to have your family and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I proposed to Sade a year after we met.
Really?
Yeah.
So you knew she was the one?
Yeah. I mean, I told her within, I think it was like 3-4 weeks that I was in love with her.
Really?
Yeah, I just told her.
Really? So she was just ticking your boxes.
Yeah, because like there was stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Like the thing is, when you come out of prison and you're with someone, you make all these promises, that, and you come out and you're an idiot, because you've set this expectation that you can't meet. So that relationship I was in with before, we just.
Because a lot of men do that to women. They tell them everything they want to hear, and as the fresh air box them in them face, they forget everything, you know. But they just told the woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? And she was there waiting.
Yeah, so I was guilty of that.
You know what I mean?
But then, I mean, we were never gonna last anyway. But things got really bad between us. So when I kind of finished that relationship, I wasn't even interested in getting this another one. So like. Even when Charlie and I started talking, I was like, yeah, you're pretty. And I was like, I'm not. I was just talking to her. So there wasn't like a real intention to date her. Yeah, because I didn't have anything to give. So I'm not going to stretch the little funds I have going on dates that I can't afford. So, you know what you said about the potential thing?
Yeah.
So like if my daughters brought me on paper to me,
you'd have said no.
I'd have told them no. So the potential thing can work in 2 ways.
But that's the difference. That's why I just feel like as women and men are different. That's why she brought him to you, because she would have seen it, because she's a woman.
Yeah.
And that's who, and like you grown into the head and the leader of your household.
Yeah.
So you was definitely qualified.
Yeah.
You just wasn't there yet, or had the right person beside you. Do you understand what I'm saying? God has saved your fishy to create with her and build. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So there you go. So sometimes even with those things, you have to look a bit deeper.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like there's qualities. I say to my sister, my daughter can't bring no thinking puffer coat. Why? When there's summertime to my door, I shut that door. Do you understand what I mean? But at the same time, you don't have to have all the boxes ticked, because I understand where you can be in your life.
Yes.
Especially when you're young. Because now I know older, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're definitely not the people that we was then.
Yes, indeed.
And I thought I knew a lot then. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You're right.
I like that.
Yeah.
What would you say your love language is? Do you know?
My love language is acts of service and quality time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not a touchy-feely person. I don't like the I don't need to be reassured. But like if you do something for me,
Yeah, you like that.
yeah.
I'm definitely I'm an acts of service, but I heard that being a firstborn daughter, that's why especially we like acts of service, because we like people doing things for us, because we always do. So just the littlest thing will make us feel. Do you understand? Do you know your wife's love language?
It's words of affirmation,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's acts of service.
Yeah, come on, I get that. We can relate. Yeah, say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So affirm it. I love that. Let me put on my glasses because I'm squinting, you know, at my cue cards. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
So because I was talking about we got engaged, right?
Yeah.
I remember the check I got, I think it was from Kanye West actually.
Really?
I used that to buy
really?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit actually, because even though I mentioned in the intro that you work for Alexandra McQueen, Victoria Beckham, Kanye West.
Yeah.
How did?
Well, all those jobs came about through an agent.
Right.
A different kind of agent.
Yeah. So getting an agent, just for anyone that is watching with designers, that agent, it's good to get an agent. Then,
yeah. Yeah, because they'll negotiate how much you're getting paid, working conditions, all that kind of stuff.
There you go. Right.
So
the money that you got for Kanye.
The times I was working at Kanye West, I was sleeping in my office. So I go to Clark and Well and then come back to my cold office, go to the gym, shower, go to Kanye West. So I did that for probably all in all, I was living in my office for 3-4 months, and I worked at Kanye West for 2-3 weeks. But when you're a freelancer, the pay is very good.
And no one didn't know.
No.
It's funny because like when they say post a picture of when you was at your lowest. You know what I mean? And these times in the picture, you're smiley, you're rave, do you understand what I'm saying? Little did they know.
It to the world, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Little do you know. Do you understand? Because we don't wear what we go through.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
I guess it's, I think for me, it's a bit of a sign of weakness to tell people that you're going through a struggle at that moment. It's always better to just deal with it in your kind of private.
Yeah, that's what I always like to deal with gratitude. It doesn't matter how small it is, but I like to show my appreciation through gratitude, whether you need it, whether you don't, because not everybody says just that. You know what I mean? To let the person know I'm so thankful for what you've done. You know me, even when me and you talk, you know, like if you do, Mitch do the prayer hands them, and I'll be like, thank you, I appreciate it. I appreciate people that do anything for me. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And then, then I think it was for when we were getting married. Yeah, so this is a really important story to show you the character of my wife. Our wedding was 14 grand, which isn't a lot of money. We wanted to set a figure that we could both afford.
Right.
So it's 7-7 equal split. 6 weeks before our wedding date, we were 6.5 grand down. My side. So she said, what are we going to do?
She ready to yours first.
She said, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And the next day, literally the next day, I got a call from Alexander McQueen. They just wanted me to do one day with them. And at that time, Alexander McQueen and Kanye West were on the same road. And I did one day, and I said to the work manager, is there any more work that you want me to kind of stay on to do? And she said, yeah, just stick around. And that turned into 6 weeks of work, which was 7 grand.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. And that paid off the balance of the wedding.
Balance of the wedding.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
That was God.
Yeah, man. Amen to that. Come on.
Yeah.
It sounds like it was aligned, didn't it? Yeah. I definitely feel like that was an alignment. Trust me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Come on. What fashion? What's your favorite fashion designer? I didn't even ask you. Who's your fashion inspo? Because you worked with all of these people and stuff. What was your favorite out of everybody that you worked with? Let's start there. What was your favorite experience? What did you take away the most from which designer working with?
My favorite was definitely working at Alexander McQueen. I worked at Ralph and Russo as well. So they do £80,000 dresses. But I think working at McQueen, I learned so much from from the women that were working there. So these women, they're like in their 60s.
Yeah.
They've been sewing since they were like in their teens. And I'm arriving at the job thinking I know everything. But when I'm watching them work, it's like, no, you don't know anything. At the time, McQueen had just died, so I was working under Sarah Burton, who actually just left. She's the one that designed the wedding dress for Kate Middleton when she married.
Yeah.
So I guess the McQueen company was going through quite an emotional time because he got just passed. But we were preparing for Paris. So literally, I'd come in at 10 and I wouldn't leave until maybe 3 in the morning, 6 weeks straight, every day. So they cab me home, I'd come back, and that's how luxury brands prepare for Fashion Week.
Wow.
Because my checks said Gucci, even though McQueen, I was working for McQueen. I think obviously Gucci owns McQueen.
Yeah. A lot of the fashion houses, like just a few of them that own actually all of them, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, right. Wow. And is there any designer that you would like to work with that you haven't worked with yet? Or collab with or something like that?
Victor and Rolf.
Really?
I mean, before I worked at McQueen, Victor and Rolf have always been...
He's nodding his head.
I think for me, it was the first thing I saw of them was this androgynous look.
I love androgynous models, by the way.
Yeah.
I've kind of thought I've got a bit of a androgynous kind of, do you know what I mean?
You're still very feminine.
Yeah, feminine, but when I was younger, I used to do modeling, you know.
Okay.
And I was always the type of model that you could put in a suit.
Right, okay.
As opposed to putting in a dress at the same time. When I was young, my hair was always short.
Okay.
I used to do all the little shorts. I have to show you pictures. There was this model, literally, I'll have to show you, but I did like the Diesel. I was on their I did quite a lot. Joe Blogs.
Really?
Yeah, I did quite a lot of modeling when I was younger, but yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
I never really liked the whole overly feminine look. But that's something about Victor Rolf just...
Yeah. There's something about those faces. Women, Angelina Jolie's kind of got an androgynous kind of look as well. You're not too... It's not too dolly, but there's something that is just attractive and sexy there. I can't explain it, but I know that look there. Do you know what I mean? Yes. And is there any advice that you would give to anyone?
To designers.
Yes, to designers. Because it's a very treacherous, you know what I'm saying, industry to get in. Because I remember Kanye West talking about the fashion house, especially like if you want to go, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, to a certain level,
to an certain level. And you have to have work ethic. You have to have thick skin. You have to have confidence. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, so what advice would you give?
I think if it's a designer that's working in their own studio in a small setting, embrace the mistake. Because for me, a lot of my best designs come from making a mistake. So the point where I would have thrown the dress away, but then someone said, "Oh, I like that," purely because it's different. If you're working in a corporate setting where you're trying to build a global brand, you need to really understand the business. The business part of it has to be
business you're in, man.
Over the design element, because there are a lot of talented creatives that the world will never see their work because they don't know how to market themselves. They don't know about brand values. They don't know who they're designing for.
That's what I was saying when you were speaking about things that you was doing, like the agent, the stuff, the thing. That's why I like to just highlight little bits and bobs, because you'll be surprised. It could just be that little bit there that could, you know, bring you into another room, help you network, you know, someone see you. Do you understand? Workshops, things like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I've always not sound greedy, but I've always been about money. I've always been about how am I gonna pay my bills from what I'm doing. And there's certain jobs like I'll have in my mind that it's, I don't know, 10 grand, and if they come in at 9, I'll say no, because I know that, or I predict that you discounting that price by £1,000, there's going to be a whole heap of things you're going to come onto me with, expecting me to do a 10 grand job.
Exactly.
So I'd rather just kind of cut the cord there and shake hands and move it along.
It has to make financial sense.
Yeah.
You're like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because there's been 3 points in my business career where I've nearly gone bankrupt. So that's me. I'm left with that burden.
Yeah.
You've kind of gone off and then you've done your thing. But I'm still the one that's having to pay the rent,
knowing how much your project or what is going to be required of you costs. So don't just get gassed and say yes because they've thrown a figure at you. You have to know that it's not going to give you stress by the end of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I totally hear that. Yeah. I love that. Right. We're going to get a little bit into the Met Gala.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Right. And it lined up, like with the timing and everything. And this is me, like how I'm getting Emil. There's no way we can't talk about the Met. Do you know what I mean? So the Met Gala 2025, the theme was Black Dandyism. Right. Did I say it right? I hope I said it right. So for those that don't know, it's all about fine black tailoring, guys. And Emil does Black Dandyism because you do fine black tailoring. Do you understand? Right. Did you see any of the looks?
Saw a few bits, yeah.
What should you want to go first? Let me get the experts, but I want to hear your third before I come in and he's like, that wasn't all that. But yeah, what would you say? What stood out to you? What did you like? Was it good? Was it not? Did you like the looks? Do you think it represented Black Dandyism? Yes or no?
Yeah, I guess it did because everything's always subjective with fashion. I think for me, one of the things that fashion gets criticized for is designs that can't be worn on road. But then
is that avant-garde?
Yeah, it's avant-garde. Like from the designer's point of view, we train our minds to design something that has never been seen before.
Yeah.
And you get given the brief, and your priority is only the brief, not can it be worn to a rave or whatever. Like, so what's his name? Andre 3000.
Yeah, with the piano,
which was hilarious. But the designer had the brief, and right or wrong, they met the brief as they understood it. One thing that surprised me was that I saw Serena. She was in a Moncler dress, and that was the first time I realized that Moncler did couture. Like it was.
Yeah, but I didn't even know Moncler did. I thought it was the puffer coats, the snow stuff. You know what I mean, and that kind of thing.
But if you look in the detail of the dress, there was like quilted. She had this quilted shawl, I think, and it was like this mint green, and it was like a Dior dress. And I had no idea like Moncler were on that level.
Wow. Yeah. Who was your favorite? Did you have a favorite? Best dressed?
I'd probably say the Serena one.
Yeah.
Just the sheer fact that the brand surprised me.
Wow, yeah. So they,
because like when I'm advising designers how to structure the ranges, is like you've got your concept, which is your 20%, stuff that's kind of wildly out there. 30% is your signature. That's what some can identify as you.
Okay.
So like this detail on this jacket.
Yeah.
There's no one else doing this detail.
No one.
So wherever you see it, you know it's mine.
And you saw ice cream in it as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Just gotta let everybody know. Say, check out my episode with Creeper Crisis. You will see me in the grey hoodie.
Yeah.
Listen, my hoodie is not your ordinary hoodie. Just know that, please. Okay. Yeah.
And then there's the basic range.
Yeah.
And that pays the bills.
Yes. Yeah.
So like, what I love about fashion is I kind of compare it to the music business, because you get producers. Like for a producer to sound like someone else, it's a diss. Like you have to have your own sound. So with designers, we have to have
your own look. Yeah.
Regardless of the money.
You just want your stamp so they know that is Vidal Carr. Yeah, I hear that.
The money will come if you're consistent.
Any males that stood out to you?
Do you know what it is? Like I don't.
You got a knife for female fashion, isn't it?
Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he's always like solid.
Yeah, because I got the UK males. So for females, do you know Jodie Turner-Smith?
No.
She had on all burgundy. I'm going to show you a picture.
Okay. Yeah.
And she represented Burberry.
Okay.
And I thought that her outfit looked really good, and I'd like to ask your I'll have to show you after. There we go. Oh, lit, please. Thank you. Yeah. Hey. I thought she absolutely smashed it.
Yeah.
Did you not think so? I thought it represented black tailoring, the color on her skin. I just thought, oh gosh, girl. In it, she killed it. She absolutely killed it.
Yeah, that's solid.
Tiana
this is Burberry, yeah?
Yeah, Burberry. Burberry did Cardi B as well.
Okay.
She had on like an emerald greeny kind of velvet structured suit, like with the long you know, the coat with the kind of bootleggy kind of amazing. I thought Tiana Taylor was good. Diana Ross, she definitely did Diana Ross, you know, with the feathers. It was her brief, so I thought it looked like her, but it was just so extra. You couldn't miss her. Janelle Monroe. I thought Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
She had on like that coat where when they zipped it off, it was like what you could see printed on the coat was underneath. I thought that was lit.
Okay,
Yeah, really, really amazing. Rihanna for a pregnant, she killed it as well. Kylie Jenner's grew on me out of her and her sisters. I'm going to show you. But I think you'll like her fabric because you use those on your coats. You know, like a kind of tweedy-ish. It was grey, but with sheer. But it grew. The more I looked at her, I thought, but you know what? This is nice. Lizzo, I have to big up Lizzo because she's a very fluffy thing. She's lost so much weight. And the way she looked on the red carpet,
solid.
I think she's done amazing with her, you know what I'm saying, her weight loss journey. I feel big up Lizzo. And what I loved about her is she didn't go naked. You know, some of them lose weight, they show too much skin.
Yeah.
I liked how she dressed. You know what I mean? She looked really, really good. So who's that? Yeah, I've got all of them. For the males, there is a man called Alton Mason.
Is he the guy that was in Sinners?
I'm not sure. His look. His look to me was just crazy.
Okay.
He had on I'm gonna show you him. He had on a it was almost like it was just shoulders. It's like a neck.
Yeah.
All of this is cut out and it's just shoulders here. Okay. Underneath was like a silver. There he is. I mean, him on any runway. Oh my goodness.
All right.
Him, Damson Idris.
Yeah.
Damson for the UK, you come out strong.
That's solid. Yeah.
Damson wore Tommy Hilfiger, I think it was. Absolutely smashed his look. Yeah. I think he killed his look. ASAP Rocky, he wore his own design, his own brand. Absolutely smashed it. Everything was his own, you know. I said yes. And then for the UK males, Stormzy. Did you see Stormzy?
Yeah, he was in Tom Ford, right?
He was in Tom Ford. I liked his outfit. However, for the on the thing, I would have seen him with the jacket on though. Okay. You know what I mean? I thought it looked really nice, but I just think with this jacket on as well, it would have looked good. Central C came out for the UK males as well. He put on like, you know, I forgot what they're called. You know, like the medals on the.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess his played it quite safe.
He did, yeah. But he looked sharp. He still looked sharp. Lewis Hamilton, he came out strong.
Yeah, that's Grace's. Grace was one of them.
Yeah, he came out really, really strong. And considering that he had on all white, because sometimes I feel when you go all white, you can lose the detailing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can look it's not as dressy as black to me, like when you wear a black suit tailored. So he did good, but Damson Idris, yes, you did really well. Just a few more that I feel like should have done, you know, could have did a Doshi. Did you see Doshi?
I didn't see that, no.
She was cussing off her team because they saw her in the lift. I just thought, no, girl, I didn't like the attitude. I understand what you're doing, but it was too much, especially when I saw the look as well. I just thought of my Neverfull Louis V bag. You know, like the thing.
It was
Louis Vuitton. But it was, I don't know. It didn't hit for me, not for what it was. It just looked like Louis Vuitton. It was just too much. Yeah, I didn't know. I love Nicki Minaj, but she wasn't my favorite. And I love Nicki. It was just the makeup with the hair. I don't know. It just didn't sit how I normally see her popping on the red carpet. Uno Barb's not come for me. Kim Kardashian. Girl. And you lot love black tailoring. You like the black coat. You like the thing. You lot should have come out tailored proper down. Do you understand? She was chrome hearts and the leather, you know, showing just the, you know, she needs to come stronger than that. And as for Kendall Jenner, I'm so disappointed. That was terrible. Lala was nice, but she played it safe. Madonna.
I mean, I love Madonna.
She's one of my, I grew up watching her. I thought she was one of our breakthroughs. She went against the mold. I remember when she done In Bed with Madonna, everything, the Vogue, the everything, like that's my era in it.
Yeah.
And I looked up to her so much. I would have liked to seen a bit more from her, but I do think, you know, for who that is, you know what I mean? Because she did the all white as well. So maybe I just didn't see it.
Maybe it's an
as
age
much.
thing. What is she, 60 something now?
Yeah, but you can't play with Madonna though, innit?
Yeah.
I love Madonna though, yeah, definitely. Right, so
you know what it is though. Like, see, when you ask designers about all these shows, I'll say the real ones, because they're so engrossed in their work, they can't tell you what is on runway or catwalk, because it's that thing where if you pay attention too much to what another designer's doing, it contaminates what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like when you're doing music. If I'm writing and I'm rapping and I don't want to listen to nobody, especially no one around me, because I don't want subconsciously me to use a word of theirs or a little flow or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I like watching the Met. It's so good to see everybody come out with their, you know what I mean, their pieces and things like that and everything, you know. Is there any events fashion wise that you really look forward to or you wish there was more in the UK of?
I mean, what I'm really striving to do is London Fashion Week, because I've done New York, but BFC have never chosen me to do London.
Really?
Which is strange. There's a lot of like politics there which I'll go into. I just don't fit their brief.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's ultimately what it boils down to.
Yeah.
But I think of all the designers that they have on runway, I'm one of those that fund myself. I think there'll be a time when I will do it, but it will be time when I'm not ready.
I believe that with timing is everything. And even when I see how the world has changed, even from when I was young, do you know what I mean? And when you're in that space and you're ahead of your time, I notice that when you don't reap what you wanted to, it's because you were part of the heavy lifting. And that's why it's good to talk and things like this, because you'll be surprised in years to come where you fall in the change of what is. You understand? So hopefully designers in years to come, even now, do you know what I mean? They are included in where they're supposed to be. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, we need to be there as well. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Yes, I'd love to talk to you more, Emil. It was lovely having you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like me and you could actually talk for long, you know. I want to quickly get into a few announcements because I've got so much things going on. I want to big up Jafaken, the movie, which is going to be out by the time this is aired, featuring me. One more time for your girl, Icecream, because I'm booked and busy. Yes, your girl is working. Look out for me. I play the role Poison. Yes. I got my
When you filmed that?
I filmed that actually a couple of years ago, you know. Yeah. But it's got Oliver Samuels, Andres on Peter Andre, Peter Andre, Sizzler Kalan, like there's so much people in there. Like, the cast is amazing. I had so much fun on set. It's a comedy. You lot don't take it too seriously. It's just it's, you know what I mean? It's a lovely comedy. There's no culture vulturing or nothing. It's just fun. Do you know what I mean? No one's saying there to be, you know what I mean? And whatever you lot, the movie is going to be in the cinemas. Make sure you lot go and watch it. Let me know what you thought of my part. I also want, Jafaken. So a movie by Freddie Nwaka. I want to big him up. Congratulations. Thanks for having me as part of the cast. Also would like to big up Freddie and thank the Power of a Ward Woman for my certificate of recognition for Power of a Woman. And it's recognition of your significant contribution to the impact that you've made on social media as a social media personality. So I'm really honored to have that, and do you know what I mean, and be recognized. You know what I'm saying?
Well done.
Thank you so much for that. I also just recently, Emil was with me, remember, at the Billboard shoot for the Hot Seat reunion. So he styled me for that. So look out for one of his pieces, which is going to be on the Billboard in and out west. Yes, you lot are going to have to drive past and see Cream, do you know what I mean? And all over London. That was amazing. I'd like to big up Creeper Crisis and the Hot Seat family. Reunion coming soon, and I'll give you the details on that. Oh my gosh, there's so much, Emil, but we've been working, do you know what I mean? I recently spoke on my platform about giving back to mums, young parents, and parents in need. I've got so much things. I've had organizations get in contact with me. If you want to donate, be involved about giving back to mums, things. If you have things that you've used, brand new things, every little helps. Contact me at convowithcream@gmail.com. We're going to get into more of it, but I'm going to rush for time. I would like to also quickly, I don't normally do books, but this book was gifted to me. It's called The Wind-Rushed Voices, 20 Stories of Determination and Triumph by Roy Edwards and Enfield Caribbean Association. And my uncle signed it for me and said, he hopes I feel inspired. His name's Paul Riddell. He's my uncle through marriage. He's married to my auntie, who's my mum's sister. I'm just going to quickly just say a couple of things, okay? His story is really, really inspiring, and it's in pursuit of equality of opportunity, okay? For over 30 years, he's worked for with the CRE. It's called the Commission for Racial Equality. And they were part of getting rid of the signs that said no blacks, no Irish, no dogs. You understand? And remember you said about the heavy lifting and people that done the heavy lifting. These are people that when they came here, they got beaten up. They got, lots of stuff. Do you understand? And when he started this job, he started as a clerical assistant, as one of the lowest grades in civil service. And by the time he left that company, he became the principal officer at the time. He had the highest. And he's gone on to doing self-employed equality and diversity consultant. These lot have done tribunals and things like that, things that we don't even know where they've made it easier. You understand what I'm saying? For people like us in the workplace, and do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Even his wife, who is my auntie, started in the typing pool. She's got an MBE, worked in embankment. I think it was for the secretary for the treasurer. I don't want to get it wrong. Please, auntie, forgive me if I've got your job title wrong. But these are people that they work their way. Do you understand? And they had less than us. And I found the book very inspiring. Like I said, you lot can read it. Big up my uncle. You can have a read. Sure. But you know what I mean? I love things like that. And I wanted to speak on it, But before I leave, I would just like to welcome our brand new sponsor. I have to get my phone out for this one because it's I want to make sure that I get the mission statement right. They are called Safety Response, and it's an app about making vulnerable people who may feel unsafe across the world reassured that Safety Response is there at all times. It has a direct location finder, and once you trigger the alarm, your emergency contacts are alerted to your direction, location, alongside with a visual image of the street. Its mission is that to make females, children, and the public feel secure at all times. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's an amazing app for people to have because, things happen at the end of the day and stuff like that. Real. So, our new sponsor, Safety Response. And, that's it for my announcements. Long, but, you're going to have them all year because your girl will be announcing every episode. Do you know what I mean? But anyways, Emil, it was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Before you leave, I want to know where we can find you, if there's anything that we should look out for, and if you have a message to give to any upcoming designers, youth, or the public.
Right. So my website, emilevidalcarr.com, can purchase some of my stuff on there. And then obviously follow me on all my social media platforms. I'm doing a 2-day workshop with under 18s later on this month, actually, just to get them into fashion, get them to develop another kind of creative skill. So that's going to be at University of East London on the 28th and 29th of May. So feel free to DM me if you want to get a sign-up link. And then I guess to any designers that are coming up, it's really about having conviction in what it is you're doing and not being afraid to make mistakes, and try and build a small and trusted unit around you, because it's something that you can do it on your own, but if you want to go far, kind of want to build a small team around you, trusted people, and rely upon experts to help you. Don't do everything. Grow as a unit.
I love that. I like that. Thank you so much. So yes, you heard it there. Before we wrap it up, I just want to speak about my dress. As you can see, I've been sitting in this beautiful dress. Do you want to talk a little bit about the dress, though?
Yeah,
I mean, because you might see it like this, but he's actually had to pin me into it. There's 100 different ways. I mean, the dress can be worn, you know, because of the way it's been designed and stuff. So talk a little bit about it.
Well, this dress in particular, because of my West African kind of heritage, there's this thing we have called a lap up, which is where the mums have the cloth around the baby, and then you wrap it on the front. So I just kind of developed this from that idea.
Yeah.
So you wrap, it's basically 2 strips of fabric. We've got crinoline back in the fabric to give it a bit more body, but everything's cut on the bias, so it's got that stretch element, and it gives the woman freedom to just wear it.
Because I was going to say, even though he's properly fitted it to me, it's got move, you know, I still feel like I can
be able to breathe.
I feel like I can, now that you said that, I feel like I can row me in this as well. You know what I mean? Oh my days. I can't believe that's where the inspo came from. I love how you line. I love the lining material that you put in your in your clothes.
That's one of my signatures.
I love that, because that was inside the piece as well, on the billboard, isn't it? And then you know, obviously this fabric, what you're wearing on the jacket, you know, everybody goes crazy for this as well, you know. Okay. I love that. Well, listen, you lot, expect to see me in more of his pieces.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? But yeah, thank you once again for coming on. And you lot, make sure you follow Emile Vidal Carr. Follow me, Convo With Cream, on all social media platforms. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. Feeling me, I forget anything? Big up all of my proud sponsors one more time. Big up Math. Oh my gosh, we're going to do Math could not be here today, unfortunately. Math adores his work. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, she couldn't be here today. But yeah, big up Mathy. One Math, never two. Big up Media Workhouse all day, every day. Big up Bad Bees Studio for the hair. Big up Makeup Doctor for the makeup. And just big up me. 360 Security. Big up 360 Security. Big up Crep Select. Poster Girl Lashes. Big up everybody. Yes. Okay, we're out. Are we out?
Pretty and paid and popping. Pretty and paid, yeah. Pretty and paid and popping. Pretty and paid. Pretty and paid, yeah. Pretty and paid and popping. Ain't got dough, then you know you better keep it jogging. Ice so cold, no stopping. Love my style, my drip, everything they copping. Cashed up queen, stay bossing. Chicks on my page all day, ain't got no login. Every style queen, stay locking. Pretty gang pull up in the place, got the man them clocking. Gotta stay on my grind. Man on my money, I'm money on my mind. No time, no day, no time. Bitches on the best day, can't take my shine.